Hello everyone, Simon here. So, if you know me, you will know that I have an interest in architecture. And recently, I've been thinking about using AI, using generative AI in architecture. And I just want to explore what's possible. I've been doing a bit of work, trying things out. So I just want to make a video to show what I've done so far. If you follow generative AI, if you follow stuff like Google Gemini, Open ChatGPT, Alibaba's Quen, so all this stuff, if you follow this stuff, none of this would be news. Like you would know this stuff already. But if you don't use AI very much, you don't use the large language models very much, some of this might be news. And because there's potential here for productivity increases, especially when it comes to visualizing architecture and turning, you know, ideas into things that look good on a piece of paper. There's a lot of shortcuts you can do now because of AI. So I thought I'd just show what the current state of the art is, kind of. In Right now it's November 2025. So AI is developing very quickly. In a few months or in a year, all of this might be completely obsolete and meaningless. But for now, this is what happens, right? So I'm going to use Google's Nano Banana today. So if we go to Google AI Studio, this is all free, by the way. You can go to Nano Banana. Oh, so your home is there. And you can go to chat, go to Nano Banana, and then you can generate or edit images. So Nano Banana is for generating and editing pictures. Uh, it was released in August 2025, so it's still pretty new. I want to point out this is a general image editing AI. It is not specifically designed for architecture. So it knows what things should look like. It knows what pictures should look like. It does not understand how buildings work, right? Beyond what a building usually looks like. So things like making a building look good, it can do that. Things like understanding how building plans work or building details work, it doesn't do that. All right, so for example, so if you prompt a light timber frame house sits on raised foundations above concrete piles. Generate an image of the crawl space under the house showing the foundations. It will generate something like this, and in fact, I can just copy this, right? Let me just copy this into here, and we'll do it live. Right, you do that, you go run, and this shows you how fast it is, right? So there it is, and wait a few seconds. And there it is. So this one's slightly different from the one we generated last time. If I go into there, so concrete piles holding up a timber frame house. Decent. This one not as good as the last one actually. I mean, there's some pipes down here, but not quite right. In the other one, actually, there are pipes. You can see the pipes there and like cables and more pipes. So this looks more like an actual house. Whereas this, we're missing some of the stuff that you would expect to find down here, which is the water pipes and the plumbing, the sewage pipes, and maybe like wires and stuff. It's okay. Maybe this just hasn't been put in yet. And then from there, we can also say the house does not yet have any exterior cladding or roofing in place, but the timber frame is complete. Generate an image of the house under construction. And the last time it generated this, right? And we can like put that in there, do this live. Right, if we go ahead and do that. Oh, you can always regenerate, by the way. Let me just do this, delete that. You can always regenerate. If you don't like what it gives you, oops, delete that, delete that. Right, and then we rerun. Oh, there you go, there's a different one. In fact, this one is more like the one that I did last time. Look at this one. Not that one. Oh, there you go. Now this one has wires and pipes. Oh, no, got pipes. Nice. Put a foundation out there. Piles and wall and then timber frame. All right, very good, very good. And as somebody who knows about architecture, it looks good. It looks correct. Right? It definitely looks plausible, right? Very good. Uh, so the next prompt, show the rest of the house under construction, right? So what I want to say here is that if you ask an average person on the street what it looks like underneath your house, some percentage of those people wouldn't know, and they wouldn't be able to draw a picture like this. Like they would get things wrong because they don't understand construction. So the AI, in this sense, it knows crawl spaces and construction sites better than the average person. Does that match this? It kind of does. Look, the foundations there look like that, and here they look like that. So it matches. So it's the same house, kind of. And we have timber frame construction. Very good. Right? Great. Great. So it understands that much. But if we push into technical knowledge, for example, this is a window frame detail. This is completely wrong. So here I said generate a technical drawing of the cross section of an aluminium window frame. It is an awning window that opens outwards. Show the shape of the window frame and show where the glass and seal goes. So I don't, if you don't know like window frame details, you don't know what you're looking at anyway. But I can assure you this is not a window frame detail. Like it says the gasket and where the seal and locking mechanism, like it's pointing to random things and there's no locking mechanism there. So it kind of knows what like the different things that might be on a window frame detail, but it has no idea how the window frame works, and it's just pointing to all the wrong things, right? So I guess if you don't know anything about architecture, you wouldn't be able to tell what a real detail looks like versus a fake detail. But this is definitely nonsense, right? This is a completely nonsense drawing. And if I let me just do that and run that. So once you ask the AI to do anything technical that requires technical understanding, it just doesn't know what it's doing. So it knows from pictures because the AI is trained on images, right? So it has seen enough pictures. Oh, that's not bad actually. That's much better than the last one. Uh, it knows from pictures of building sites what houses look like. Let's see if this is better than the last one. This looks kind of good. Outside section, no, that's not what the section is. Inside, that's not right. Inside, outside, that's not how that works. Aluminum frame, that's the glass. This is triple glazed glass. The gasket is not there. The seal is around the glass. Insulated glass unit, alright, that's correct. That's not the weather strip. That's not the wall section. That's not inside. This window does not open? No, it doesn't open as far as I can tell. Like in order for it to be open, right? There needs to be like the frame, and so the frame, the inner frame, the outer frame, and the two frames kind of fit into each other, and so it opens and closes, right? So this is not. This is all joined together, so the window doesn't actually open, and this doesn't do anything, right? So it's not. It's kind of, you look at it from a distance. Yeah, maybe. No, the like it doesn't understand what the pieces are, and it doesn't actually make a window that can open and close. Inside, outside. That's very funny. 1/6. 1/6 of what? I don't know. So it's faking it. The AI is faking it. It doesn't actually understand how buildings work. So that's what AI can do and what it can't do, right? It can show you a picture. It's very good at generating photos, right? It looks plausible. It doesn't understand technical details in architecture. Okay, so that's basics. So now we have some use cases. Use cases for architectural design. So I was thinking like if I was working in an architect's office, what can I use this for to save time and money, right? How would this help an actual practicing architect? So the easiest thing is filling in empty rooms and drawings for presentation. So this one, I took this picture from a real estate site. And usually when you're selling a house, you don't want to put a picture of an empty house on your website because the empty house looks kind of sad and empty and liminal and like it doesn't kind of looks a little depressing, looks abandoned. And so what they usually do is they put furniture in the room and they take a photo with furniture in it. But you can't always do that because you have to move furniture in, take the photo, and then move the furniture out. It's a pain in the ass. So if there's no furniture there already, you just take a photo of the empty room and just deal with it. But now that we have AI, you don't have to put up with just an empty room. Or alternatively, you can get your intern to Photoshop a bunch of furniture into there, but that costs time and money as well if you hire somebody to Photoshop, right? So with the AI here, so I prompted it, reimagine this room as a bedroom. Put a single bed in the back corner. In the front left side, put a desk with a laptop on it. So that's the desk with a laptop. That's the bed. Use modern minimalist furniture, but with some intricate Baroque details. I was trying to do something a little bit different. So it's modern and minimalist, but also slightly Baroque. Just to just see if the AI can deal with it, right? So let me go back into here. Let me just clear this chat so we don't get confused. I'm gonna upload a file. You can't see where I'm putting this on. I'm gonna pull this file, furnish the room, right? So there it is. There's the original image. And let me just throw the same prompt in there and just show you what this does in real time. It'll be something similar, but slightly different. All right, run that. And it's so fast, right? So if you do Photoshop work or if you work in an architect's office, you'll know that getting somebody to put this in Photoshop would take a long time. At least I don't know, an hour. And it wouldn't look this good either because the details, the shadows, look at that. So the AI knows that the window is there. The light comes in from there and it casts a shadow there, right? It casts the shadow this way and the shadow goes that way. So it's not quite right. So this suggests that there's a light there and then there's that there. So it's not quite perfect, but it's good enough. It's better than nothing. So adding the shadow in is a little detail that your Photoshop guy would have a lot of trouble with, right? And there's the bed, modern lines, but with Baroque details, right? Clean, minimalist bedding, but with the embroidery. Interesting. So it does exactly what you tell it to. And let's go on with the other ones. So the next one I did was reimagine the room as a home office with a messy desk with a computer workstation, tall bookshelves filled with books. The desk chair is comfortable and has a tall back. The style of the furniture is industrial and minimalist. Alright, so let's type that in. And let's see what it gives us. And remember that as I do this, if you don't like what it gives you, you can always regenerate. Alright, let's wait for this one. So imagine if you were the real estate person that I stole this picture from. Instead of putting an empty room on your website, you can get the AI to just put some furniture into the room so it looks better, right? So here I would have liked it if there were more bookshelves, but this is kind of what I asked, right? A messy desk with a computer and a bookshelf. And if we don't like it, we can rerun. Oh, interesting. It's very similar to the last one. Slightly different, but another variation. So you can just keep doing this. It only takes, how long did it take? Like 13 seconds. So I mean, like you can pull like five or six of these out in a minute, and you're just sitting there and letting the computer do the work. Instead of hiring a guy to do this Photoshop work, imagine like you hire a guy to do Photoshop work and you ask him to make like 10 variations. It's gonna take him a long time, right? Whereas here, it's gonna take you a few minutes. So this is what the AI can do for your productivity in your architect's office. And just for completeness, let me do this. This is a young boy child's bedroom. There's a messy bed, there's homework on a desk, a toy box, a small bookshelf, toys scattered around the room, and colorful pictures on the walls. The boy particularly likes dinosaurs and robots. So there's dinosaurs and robots, right? So this is exactly what I described. And let me just generate another one in real time. So for stuff like this, the AI can do this very easily. Remember again, Google Nano Banana is an image editing model. So if you give it an image and ask it to edit it, it's very good at that, right? This is exactly what we asked for. Robots, robots and dinosaurs, toy box bookshelf, impeccable, right? Very good. Now, next one, let's look at the next use case. Sketch to photorealistic image, right? Architects like to make incomprehensible doodles. They have a reputation for making incomprehensible doodles. But often you have difficulty communicating with non-architects who can't, interpret those doodles into something that they can imagine, right? So another thing Nano Banana is quite good at is you can give it a doodle. So here I drew this, and it's deliberately ugly, right? I just kind of drew a few lines and asked Nano Banana to turn it into a photorealistic image. The prompt is, this is a sketch of a lounge inside a house. On the left is a television on the wall, showing a news program. On the right is a large window looking out to a beach landscape out in the distance. In the foreground is a couch, facing the television. Turn this sketch into a photorealistic image. The house and furniture should be modern and stylish. And it gave me that last time. And again, let me just run this. Because it is consistent, right? Let me start a new one again. It is able to do this every time. Sketch into photo, right? So we're gonna reload this one. If you do a better drawing, or if you put more details in the drawing, the AI can interpret that and give you a better outcome, probably. Interesting. It's very similar to the last one. Look at that. Very similar to the last time I did this. Fascinating. Anyway, even like the little boat and the two trees, it gives you the little boat and the two trees. Isn't that good? Okay, so we can ask it to, the prompt is repeat with some variety, and I did that twice. So it repeated, but added more stuff into it. Kind of strange having two TVs there. Doesn't really make sense. This one's a bit better. So it's a bit more furniture, some rugs on the floor. Interesting, right? And then, just to do something different, this prompt says, turn the sketch into a photorealistic image, but this time make it a tropical resort with South Asian cultural motifs, and make it in the late afternoon near sunset. So you can specify whatever you like, whatever you can imagine, just type in the words, and the AI will do its best to give you what you describe. And it's quite good, right? Because it understands how the words translate into the image. Oh, there you go. This one's even more consistent than the other one. So this one, it turned it into big columns and things. This one is closer to what we had. And look at that. Oh, look at that. Some sort of South Asian tropical resort. Very nice. Very, very nice. And then after that, you can edit this. So I said, repeat the last prompt with some colorful highlights in the interior decor. So then it added some colorful highlights in the decor. And then I said, add two people into the scene, a man sitting on the couch watching the television, and a woman looking out the window at the view outside. They are tourists wearing simple Western clothing. And they did that. So they added a man on the couch, a woman looking outside. So this is again, I'm picking things that architects would like to do. Again, when you show a picture to a client or to potential clients, you want to show like furniture and people so that it looks lived in, it looks more alive, as opposed to being like dead and empty and abandoned. It just feels better, right, for the clients. Like as architects, we can imagine these things without having to show it, right? We can imagine, okay, we have a person sitting there, what it looks like. But often for clients, they can't really imagine this stuff easily. And so if you can just like spend 15 seconds getting the AI to put some people into your picture, it helps a lot for people who are not trained in architecture, right? To just visualize these things. Oh, look at that. So we add two people, the man watching TV, the woman looking outside, and there it is. And there it is. Like it's so natural. It looks like they were there the whole time, right? You could not tell, and you can't do this with Photoshop without AI. Like it's so hard to put that in, and for everything, for the lighting to look right, and for everything to look natural. So hard to do that, but with AI, you can do that very easily in 15 seconds. So stuff like this, AI can do very, very well. We uh, we turn this thing, as funny as that is, it's not really presentable, but we very quickly turn the doodle into something presentable, into a presentable concept that we can show the clients. Right, very good. So the next use case, slightly different, kind of the same. We have a sketch plus a side photo into a photorealistic image. So this is not my sketch. This is a sketch by Tadao Ando, a famous Japanese architect, if you don't know. I'm using all this stuff without permission, by the way. I'm just copying the stuff from the internet and just throwing it in the AI. This is a picture of Victoria Park in Auckland, New Zealand. It's just big grassy field, right? So the prompt that I want to do is image one is a sketch of an architecturally designed apartment block with a concave curving facade of windows and balconies facing the left. That's what that's supposed to be. It's an apartment block. I don't know what Tadao Ando actually meant to draw here. I'm saying it's an apartment block with balconies and windows facing this way. Image 2 is a photo of the site. Create a photorealistic image of the apartment block in the site. The architecture is graceful, colorful, and modern. And so the AI gave me this, which is pretty good. Which is pretty good. So if you like if you just draw a shape, if you just scribble a shape on a piece of paper, and then you go to your construction site or your building site or your potential building site and just take a photo of the site, just tell the AI to put that shape on the site, and there it is. Like, is it accurate? Is it correct? When it's not that precise, but just as a simple exercise of visualizing a concept, it's very good. And the size is even mostly correct because if you look at the size of these goalposts and compare that, like the size of this is like a person. Is that a person? There is a person there, right? So you like compare the size of the people with the goalposts with the size of the building. The sizes are about right, so the AI can kind of like look at the things that are already there, kind of figure out how big things are, and then put the apartment block in, and it looks right. It looks as right to me as I can tell. So let's go ahead and try this in real time. This is super interesting to me, right? Let me upload these files. Sketch into site. Super interesting. Right, image 1, image 2. And if you say image 1, image 2, it does understand. Like the first one is image 1, the second one is image 2. Right, I'm just going to do the same prompt. Let's see if it gives us the same building or a slightly different building. It probably will be a slightly different building. Oh, it's facing this way this time. That's interesting. Why did it choose to do that? Huh. It flipped it around. Very interesting. Not sure why it flipped it around, but it is the same Like it is that. Just it decided to flip that around. I mean, it's fine. You can regenerate it if you want to. All right, very nice. And then just for testing purposes, make a nighttime version of that image. Most of the apartments have their lights on, and there it is. Daytime, nighttime. Oh, it looks great. Again, if you try to get somebody to do this on Photoshop, yes, you're gonna have a hard time getting them to do this. Like manually, it's very difficult. Whereas getting the AI to do this, easy. It's very easy for the AI to handle this. Oh, there you go, nighttime. Oh yeah, looks kind of good. Not sure why there's so much light out here though. It's okay. It's not bad. I mean, I'm deliberately choosing sketches that are difficult to interpret, and I'm deliberately kind of asking it to try to do difficult things. If you have a better drawing, or if you have like a better model, the AI will take that and it'll do a better job with it, right? So the more accurate your sketch is, or the more detailed your drawing is, or the more precise it is, it'll do a better job. But even if you throw in some very, very rough sketches, the AI will do its best. So I think these are quite useful, but these are all generating concepts. Uh, so one of the things we don't want to do is to ask the AI to do anything precise or too precise, because it like sometimes it'll handle it, sometimes it won't. So the next one, we're gonna look at a failure case. So I was trying to get the AI to put a skyscraper into the city, right? This is Auckland. And let me just show you this. Uh, so this is my sketch. This is a sketch of a tall skyscraper. The core of the skyscraper is a glass curtain wall tower. The blue lines represent a steel superstructure on the exterior of the skyscraper. The steel columns bend and cross each other in the upper part of the tower. Make a photorealistic image of this skyscraper. And it gave me this. That's pretty good. I mean, yeah, that's what I drew. Okay, very good. Let me go ahead and try this out in real time again. Upload skyscraper into a skyline. So I drew this, right, real quick. And then we gave it this prompt, right? Oh, look at that. Slightly different from the last time, but also very cool. Very, very cool. It even make a whole sit. You know what? I want to change that to daytime. Can you like going off script a little bit? Can you make a midday? Make a midday version of that image. I don't know why it's went like Twilight for both. Because I didn't specify Twilight. But both times it decided to put it in the Twilight. Not sure why. So the prompt is make a midday version of that image. Let's see if it understands what I mean. Oh, yes it does. Yes it does. So the more precise and more detailed the prompts are, the more likely it is that the AI will understand what you're saying. But here is a midday version of the last image. Look at that. Very good. Right. So what I wanted to do, right, is to put it into Auckland. So this is a picture of the Auckland skyline. Again, I stole this off the internet. And the prompt was, reimagine the city skyline so that the skyscraper in the sketch has been built in the city. Resize and recolor the skyscraper so that it fits in. Maybe I should phrase that differently. I should have phrased it fits in amongst the other buildings. Maybe that would be more clear. The red rectangle indicates the position and size of the skyscraper. So I did that, and it did this last time. which is not quite right because the colors are wrong, the size is wrong. It's like it's not quite right. Maybe the size is okay, but the perspective is wrong. And so it just took this and it just copy and pasted exactly that into the skyline where the red rectangle was. And that's not what I wanted. I wanted to look like it fit in, right? So the colors are wrong and the perspective is wrong. But let me like maybe I prompted wrong. Maybe it was my fault. Let me go ahead and upload the skyline there. This one, right? So let me modify this prompt a little bit. Resize and recolor the skyscraper so that it fits in amongst the other buildings. Maybe that's what I was missing. Maybe not. Let's see what happens. Alright, so we're going off script. I don't know what's going to happen right now. Yeah, no. It's not. That's not what. First of all, it's not on the red rectangle. Second of all, it's replaced the sky tower. Why did it replace the sky tower? Uh, so that's not right. That's not what I asked for. So for some reason, the AI doesn't understand how to fit a skyscraper into an existing skyline. So it's a very interesting failure case, right? Why would it not understand that? And I don't know for sure, but my speculation is that because skyscrapers don't get built very often, there's not enough examples for the AI to understand. And to really understand this, how would you understand this, right? Would you need to see like the same picture of the same skyline over like many years to see how it changes? Maybe you want to look at skyscrapers being built and then removed and then new ones taking their place. But because like it's very rare comparatively to other buildings, right? Like houses get built all the time. So you have a lot of pictures of houses being built. Skyscrapers don't get built that often, and you don't have a lot of pictures of skylines changing over time. And so what I think is happening is that there's not enough training data for the AI to understand how skylines or like how cities as a whole change over time. It's just not something that it has enough training to understand. Is what I think is happening. But interestingly, like it's not salvageable. It just doesn't understand what I mean. What I want is to have the tower there to see what it looks like if we add a new tower in Auckland. But I couldn't understand what's going on. And so I tried several different things. Again, here it replaced the sky tower. For some reason, the AI really hates the sky tower and always tries to cover it up. And then I'm like, oh, come on, dude. Can you like move it over? Move it over by about 20% of the width of the image, which it did. And the sky tower's gone. It didn't put the sky tower back. So the AI just hates the sky tower for some reason. Actually, no. What I think is the sky tower is so unique and so distinctive that it's different from every other building it has ever seen, and so it doesn't know how to deal with it. I think is what's going on. Because AI does that sometimes. If you ask AI to do something that everybody has done before and it's seen many times before, the AI will do it very easily. If you ask the AI to do something that nobody has done before, it won't know what to do because it hasn't seen it before. So it doesn't know what to do. And I think maybe the Sky Tower is one of these problems where it hasn't seen it enough to know how to handle the Sky Tower, so it just covers it up and pretends it doesn't exist because it doesn't know how to handle it. Um, yeah, so I mean, I tried a whole lot of different things. None of this looks good. It just doesn't do it. So we're finding interesting limitations of the AI. Even though this is technically an image editing exercise, like add an extra skyscraper into the skyline, it just can't do it properly. So you gotta keep in mind of things like this. AI is not perfect, and things that are uncommon, it will not know how to do. Okay, moving on. Another failure case, modify a building plan. So this is me deliberately trying to get the AI to fail, right? So here I've taken another building plan off of a real estate site, website. And what I wanted to do is, I said this is the plan of a small house. Modify it by adding another bedroom to the left of the main house, moving the back door and extending the hallway as necessary. So what I wanted is an extra bedroom, right? Like here, maybe? And then extend this hallway so that we can get into the bedroom. Like as an architect, you know exactly what I mean, right? Add an extra bedroom on the left side of the house and then extend. Like easy. We know what that means. But if you ask the AI to do it, remember the last time we asked it to do a technical drawing, the AI has no idea what the technical drawing is supposed to be, right? And so building plans, the AI doesn't really understand how building plans work either. Let me go modify a plan, this one. So this is the original. And if we do this, it thinks for a while. All right, and it does that. So it adds stuff to the left of the house, sure. But the stuff that it adds is completely nonsensical. Right, so now the hallways don't join up. The window is still there, even though now you're looking out the window into the bath. The bath has a bath and then three basins, three wash basins. Uh, I don't know what ill is, E-I-L, I don't know what that is. Back entry, and then the new bedroom. The new bedroom is about the right size? No, it's not, that's not the right size. 3.24 is this. That's not 3.24 so the size is wrong. It's kind of got a wardrobe. I don't know what this is. It's enclosed, there's no doors. And a window there. So it doesn't quite understand how houses work. It's trying its best, right? So it's, I mean, this door opens both ways, interesting. Oh, this turned into a new bedroom. This used to be the garage. Right, that was the garage. But now it's turned into another new bedroom. So it's taking the pieces that it sees and it's putting in here. And the interesting part is, look at these basins. On this side, the basins, you can't actually see the basins up there. Let me just look at the original. You can't actually see the basins. There's no bath. So, and there's a bath there. So the AI has seen enough building plans to know about these elements, right? So it knows that things like this exist in building plans, but it doesn't really know what they mean. I guess they're kind of associated with baths. Let me go back to the other one. So I generated multiple attempts at this, right? So here, this time on this one, it put a corridor from the bedroom out here. This is a back entry now. The bedroom there has no door, so you can't get into the bedroom. The kitchen has a toilet in it and a shower, and the bath only has a bath. So it knows about toilets and baths and beds. It even put the bed in the bedroom. Interesting. There was no bed here, right? So it knows to draw these symbols in kind of the right places, but not quite. Not quite enough. Like there's no, some doors have no rooms, some rooms have no doors. And then here, like the toilet doesn't have a toilet, it has a bath. The bath also doesn't have a toilet and doesn't have a bath, it has a shower, right? In a bathroom. There's no door into here. This back entry doesn't open there. This bath has an interesting door there, so that's just like the corner of the room there, right? And on one side there's a doorway. On the other side there's also a doorway. And then the door just flips between the two doorways. And so it's completely nonsensical. But if you don't know how doors work, you wouldn't know, right? So the bathroom has two toilets next to each other, and then the bedroom has two doors next to each other. So none of this really makes sense. It's nonsense architecture. So the AI doesn't understand how houses actually work, but it knows enough about the symbols to put symbols in, right? Again, that doesn't really work. And this just gets stranger and stranger. It even knows how staircases work. Well, it knows the symbol for a staircase. It doesn't know how they work. So here, there were no staircases in the original, right? And at this point, on the fourth attempt, it put a staircase in to suggest there's a second floor now. And I don't think the AI understands that that's a staircase, but it has seen enough floor plans with staircases in them to know that sometimes floor plans have this symbol in it. And so it just put it in without understanding what it means. The toilet has no door again. So it's like, it's gibberish, but it's speaking the language of a floor plan, right? All these things, this is in the language. Like, it's like, if you get a jumble of English words, it's like a word salad, right? There's like a jumble of words that don't mean anything, but all the words are real words. That's what this is like right now. Like all the pieces are real pieces. Like all the symbols are real symbols, but they're put together in a way that doesn't make sense. So this is the extent of how much the AI can understand floor plans. And remember again, going back to the beginning, this is an image editing AI. This is not an architecture AI. It is not an AI that's trained to understand buildings. It's an AI that's trained to edit pictures. So it's not surprising that it doesn't understand this stuff. I'm just putting this in just to show the limits of it, right? So next up, I try to give the AI a helping hand by drawing what I wanted, right? So here, image 2 is the plan modified with a sketch of the changes I want to make in purple. So using purple, I drew what I wanted. Move the back entry further out, extend the hallway, and then add another bedroom there, right? And I drew this the same as this, just to try and coax the AI into just copying this over here. And when I did that, it gave me this. So it put a bedroom there, kind of where I wanted it. The ensuite has this funny door again, and then walk-in robe. It's supposed to be a walk-in wardrobe. And then I don't know what this stuff is. So this, I mean, it's kind of, but there's no door to the rest of the house. You have to go in from the outside. And here, again, it like put the bedroom kind of where I put it, but there's extra stuff that don't make sense. And again, it never extended the back entry out and the hallway out to actually put a proper entrance. There's no entrance, in fact. Well, you go into the bedroom through the wardrobe to the outside. And then here, they opened up here. From this bedroom, you go to the other bedroom. So it's kind of no, not quite. Like there's an extra door, but it's no door. Like it's almost there. It's almost there. You would. I mean, you can imagine if it tried a little harder, like it would figure it out. Like it's almost there, right? Let me try this again, and let me run that. And so, like as I was doing this, I was thinking maybe with more data, more training, you can make an AI that can do this properly. Because if you know the history of uh, like large language models, for example, so this is kind of close. Again, it closed off the back entry this time. Completely deleted the back door. It put a kitchen sink in the wardrobe, very funny. Put a toilet there. So like, it's almost right. You go in through the ensuite. Like it's. Wait, no, it put an ensuite in the other bedroom. Now this bedroom has no door. All right, it's almost there. Yeah. So if you know the history of large language models, you'll know that like early on it did do this. Like early text prediction models would give you word salads that don't actually make sense because it's just looking at the things you've typed and then predicting what the next word is likely to be. That's what large language models do. It just predicts what the next word is likely to be. And early on, the models would create nonsense, kind of like it's creating nonsense here. But as the number of parameters increased, as like the complexity of the models increased, as the amount of training data increased, eventually the quality of the output text improved just by scaling up, just by making the models bigger. The outputs improved into first into things that are comprehensible, and then eventually into saying things that are actually kind of intelligent. And to now, where a lot of these large language models will easily pass high school tests and might even pass some university tests, right? So it's at the level where it can pretend to be a human very effectively with text. And again, it's the same thing with images and video. Like generative image AI and generative video AI, as they scale up, the quality of the output improves and becomes more coherent and becomes more believable. And so I think it's possible if somebody smarter than me, spends the time and the money to train an AI model, I think it's possible to get an AI to automatically design houses. I think that's like achievable if enough money was allocated to the project. But that's speculation. That's not. I'm not gonna do that. I don't have the skills to do that. Okay, so that's basically what I've got. And this is in November 2025. This is what you can and cannot do with generative AI, specifically with Google Nano Banana in an architecture office, right? You can use it for these things. So the best use cases is to turn your concept doodles into something that you can show a client that they can understand, right? So that your client can understand these images much better than they can understand this. If you as an architect show them this, they'll be disappointed. Whereas if you show them this, they might be excited, right? They go, "Oh yeah, I like that house." Or they'll give you feedback that, "Oh, well, maybe I want the window to be somewhere else or the chairs to be somewhere else." Like they can engage with a picture like this, whereas they can't engage with a picture like this. Or even, Tadao Ando. I like Tadao Ando, but if you ask one of his clients to engage with a sketch like this, it'll be difficult. Whereas if you ask a client to engage with this, like you say, "Well, how do you feel about this?" They can do it, right? They can give you feedback. So this is probably what it's most useful for, the way it is now. And also in your presentations, you can make edits very easily. Or like, if you're a real estate agent, you're trying to sell a house, instead of showing people an empty house, you can show them a house with furniture in it. That would be easy to sell to your customers, I believe. All right, so that's it. Not like, I keep talking about the failure cases, and it's a little disappointing what it can't do. But I think just looking at what it can do, there is scope for like saving time and money in a real office. So that's mostly why I made this video is because, hey, you can improve productivity by using the latest tools. Okay, so that's it. That's Google Nano Banana. I'm going to end this here. As I said, AI technology is advancing very quickly. As new models come out, I might revisit this topic and see if things have improved. And maybe at some point in the coming years, we'll get to a point where AI can handle floor plans. That'll be amazing. And by amazing, I mean a lot of architects will lose their jobs because they'll be taken over by AI. Okay, on that note, let me end this here. See you.